welcome back to the CC Lounge. Joined here now to talk about looking forward and the innovations that we can expect coming in the industry. I'm joined here with Anders Gustafson and Lars Lindahl. Great to have you with us. Let me introduce you. Anders Gustafson, CEO of Ecolog Sweden, and started his career in the telecom and mechanical industry before falling in love with the forestry sector. I know you have a great passion for the forest. As CEO of the Brooks Group, he worked with wood processing, bioenergy and bulk materials, moved to Sales and Marketing Director for Korsnäs, where he worked with renewable and sustainable fibre-based packaging with a turnover of 1 billion euros. Very, very impressive. Today you're the CEO of Ecolog Group, which has 140 employees and a 70 million euro turnover. And we're going to have a look at your highly efficient, sustainable machines. Lars, welcome to you as well.
Thank you.
I'll introduce you in more detail in a few minutes, your CV. But today we're going to be having a look at a presentation you've got about the innovations that you've made with your machines.
Yep.
And how they can help with sustainability issues. So I would love it if you kicked off with your presentation and showed us what you have.
Thank you, Malcolm. Really nice to be here. As you said, I will talk a little about Ecolog and the forestry of tomorrow and opportunities and challenges. Just some briefs about Ecolog. The first machine was produced in 1960s, obviously not under the brand of Ecolog, but still in the same facilities as we are today, actually, in the beautiful mid part of Sweden called Söderhamn. We have sales in 25 countries, turnover of 70 million euro, and 7 harvesters and 6 forwarders. And let's look at a video just to illustrate how these machines works in real life.
Pendelarmarna, det är ju en stor sak när du går från ett annat märke att börja med. Men kommer man in i det och man lär sig det där, så då har du ju en oändliga möjligheter att kunna klättra i besvärlig terräng.
I väldigt snårig och tät skog så är den extremt smidig. Man kan nivellera den i sidled och snirkla fram mellan träden. I brant terräng så är pendelarmsystemet också väldigt bra. Man kan hissa upp maskinen, nivellera fram den så den alltid står plant och rakt.
De bästa egenskaperna med Ecolog är väl på skördarsidan, pendelarmstekniken. Och när man ska använda den så har man mycket vunnet där på stabilitet och framkomlighet. Det i kombination med starka kranarna så blir det väldigt produktiva maskiner.
De är ju väldigt driftsäkra och starka. Stark kran som orkar med, det finns kraft så det räcker till. Så får man in den där riktiga snitsen, då blir man överjävlig med en sån här maskin.
Tidigare här i företaget har vi kört ett annat skogsmaskinmärke, men med Ecologen har vi ökat produktionen med cirka 20%. När det gäller produktivitet så finns det inget annat märke som kan matcha den här, tycker jag i alla fall. Till er andra maskinförare så tycker jag verkligen ni ska ge Ecolog en chans. Prova en Ecolog alltså. Ni kommer inte att bli missnöjda.
So that was an overview of forestry of today and what our machines can do. And this is a slide actually to show what you really can do with the machines. And these are the pendulum arms enable unique features. This is another slide that you just show you what you can do. And now you ask yourself, is this a yoga session for forest machines? No, it's not. These features are really good for mainly 2 things. Enables the machine to maneuver in a terrain which is not possible with other machines. It just make the machine more efficient. You can reach trees thanks to the pendulum arms. Also, you minimize ground pressure, which is a really important part of a sustainable future. So in essence, the pendulum arms is the unique feature. We have a really strong crane. The machines are powered by Volvo Penta, which gives reliability, strength, and responsiveness. They're really easy to serve, which optimize the uptime in the machine, which is essential in our business. Let's spend just a half a minute of looking at the digital forestry and the development the last 100 years. Let's say we can call it from handsaw to the cloud, and let's illustrate that with a movie. This is a machine from 1964. It's actually one of the first Ecolog machines that were produced under the brand of Kockums. This is a machine that pulls trees from the forest. And I can assure you that the driver is not looking at the touchscreen. But the driver today is actually looking at touchscreens. He's surrounded by complicated and computers that helps him do a really good work. What is maybe even more interesting is if we look to a Swedish sawmill today. Let's say the sawmill has a customer that has a huge building project. The customer sends a request to the sawmill with certain specifications on the products. The sawmill has access through, let's say, 50 to 100 harvesters in the near area. This is connected through the cloud that in Sweden is called biometria. The sawmill can access and decide which machine can perform the best job to provide the products. A digital file is downloaded and the machine is producing logs according to specification. The location of the logs is sent to a forwarder who pulls and transport the logs to the roadside. The location is sent to the truck driver who transports the logs to the sawmill. The sawmill processes the product and deliver the requested product to the customer. And even if we're working in the forest, the sawmill has complete overview and can watch the production process online in real time. Let's finalize this with some challenges and opportunities in the forestry. Over time, the demand for fiber-based products will increase. The number of fiber-based applications are increasing. You probably all know that paper, packaging, construction, furniture, and bioenergy, fuel, board, today are standard products from the forestry. What's also coming is chemicals, clothes, and food. And you say food from forest? Oh yes. You're looking at retrieving protein from bark and much more. So how does this add up? That's a good question. Let's have another example from Sweden. Sweden today harvests approximately 90 million cubic meters per year, which, by the way, is 90% of the growth in the forest each year. The increased demand is environment, another 9 million, new products, another 10, pulp industry, another 8, bioenergy, another 25 to 50. So, at best, the supply would be 100 million cubic meters. The demand will be 150 to 175. That's one challenge. And on top of that, this is long-term applicable on the global forestry industry as well. So if we summarize this, automation and decreasing of man-hours will absolutely continue, as in all industries. We need to focus even more on sustainable forest industry. We need to utilize more of the tree. And we need to plant a couple of trees for each harvested. And on the slide you can see China and India. And when they start to utilize fiber-based products, the same we do in the Western countries, well, the challenge is increasing. So you can say, in essence, that the race for the forest has just begun. And it's really nice to be on the right place in the food chain, producing sophisticated, modern, high-end yellow forest machines.
Thank you for that presentation. One of the things I think is really fantastic, you know, when you see those machines, I really liked when you talked about, you know, the ability for the machine to balance, puts much less pressure on the ground.
Yeah.
You could imagine a machine that's on its side would be sliding down, tearing the ground, tearing up the root system.
Yeah.
Really interesting. One question I have, we've discussed before the event, you have a real passion for forestry. It's, you know, your heart's there and everybody can feel that when they're around you. But does working on these innovations make you feel more hopeful that the forestry industry can remain sustainable?
That's a good question, Malcolm. And we see this development moving on out to the world. There are three things we need to do. As I said, we need to plant new trees when we harvest. But also we need to conduct more thinning all over the world, because thinning is it's important for many reasons. One is that the growth is much higher.
What is thinning for the audience?
Thinning is when you cut out you plant more trees than you can harvest in a final felling.
Yep.
So after a few years, after let's say 10 to 20 years, you start thinning, taking out a couple of trees.
Every second one.
Every second one, and you do that 3 or 4 times depending on where in the world you are. And those thinning material is mainly for the pulp industry. But it also enables high growth in the forest. It also decreases the risk for burning forest, and you can see that all over the world today, the risk of the danger with burned forest. And the third one is to retrieve and collect the branches when you do the thinning. Because the branches are two things. They are fuel for fires, but they're also energy that we need to use for a sustainable future.
Interesting.
Yeah. The challenge is your question, will this work out throughout the world? Well, it's a matter of knowledge and money, because to perform sustainable forest industry, you need money. So investment is the key source to be able to see the sustainable forest industry over the world.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Last time to bring you into the conversation. Thank you for your patience. And let me introduce you, Lars Lindahl, CEO of Huddig AB. You've been working with the heavy equipment industry for 30 years. After graduating with a master's degree in mechanical engineering, you worked with Ericsson Radio Systems and then at Engström and Nilsson Machine, which was the Swedish Caterpillar dealer. And then when Caterpillar Forest Products acquired Skogsvan in 1997, you were recruited as the operations manager. You moved up to the managing director in 2002 and oversaw the ownership transfer of Skogsvan to Ecolog. So you gentlemen have quite a history.
Yeah, we do.
Known each other for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. And since 2004, you've been the CEO of Huddig Group with company representation in Finland and the US. Correct. I know you have a presentation for us as well, and I think it's a great time for you to jump in and get started and show us what you're doing on that side with your innovations.
Thank you, Malcolm. Before I get into my subject for today, I would like to start with a video to introduce Huddig and specifically our Huddig products. It's a video that will show some typical Huddig applications. Today I will talk to you about our full hybrid, which we call Taigon. The question is, why did we decide to go for building a full hybrid? Some years ago, we made a strategic decision to develop a new product, a product that would minimize the environmental impact. And of course, focusing on reducing emissions, we wanted to reduce noise, and at the same time, we wanted to improve performance. Of course, we started looking at electrification, but keeping in mind the customer needs and also how our products are being used, as you can saw in the video. We understood that that would be a very difficult task for us. Let me talk a little bit more about our products. We produce products for 3 different segments. We call them city, cable, and rail. City being a service machine that's being used in city areas by municipalities. A very flexible unit, a machine that can load trucks in the morning. It can be used as a service machine on construction sites during daytime and snow plowing in the evening. Then we have the second segment, which is cable. The cable machine is a machine which is equipped with a mobile working platform. We call it lift. And with the lift, you can access 22 meters up in the air, working on, for example, power lines. So these machines are typically very, very far out in the forest, working on maintenance and building power lines. And the third segment being rail. The rail machine is equipped with another attachment, which we call high rail. And with that machine, with the high rail system, we can go up on the rail and drive along the rail and perform different work tasks as we go. For example, brush cutting, changing sleepers. We can even work on the overhead contact lines, even inside tunnels. And in all these situations, it's very rare that we have access to electrical power. So that's the time where we understood that we cannot go for 100% electrification. We rather go for a hybrid solution. So, how does our hybrid system work? I will share a short presentation with you, and you see a machine from above, and our machine is actually able to run on power from the diesel engine, or power from the battery, or from power from diesel and battery together, and it can actually also be connected to an external power supply. In this picture, you also see 7 EMGs. EMG stands for electrical motor generator, which means that these components can work as an electrical motor or an electrical generator, depending on the power flow, the direction of the power flow. You can also see that 4 of the EMGs are actually connected to the final drives, one at each wheel. And this means that we can individually control the speed of each wheel. You can also notice that there is no mechanical connection between the diesel engine and the wheels, which means that independent of the transportation speed, we can run the diesel engine at the sweet spot, meaning that we are running at the RPM with the highest efficiency, the lowest fuel consumption, and the lowest emissions. When we get to steer with the machine, we also measure the steering angle in the articulation. And by doing that, we can control the speed of the wheels. So in this example, we slow down the wheel speed on the inner wheels, and we increase the speed on the wheels on the outside. This we do because we want to eliminate tires rubbing against the ground. And another feature is that if the operator, for example, is out snow plowing and push the bucket or a snow blade hard into the ground, the front wheels can come up in the air, so we only have the rear wheels in contact with the ground. In a conventional machine, the machine will go straight forward. in our situation, the right hand wheel will still be going slower, and the left wheel will be going faster. So the machine will anyway be turning to the right. So that's a big feature. The third advantage with this system is if one of the wheels will start to slip, the torque will immediately be transferred to the other wheels with grip. So here we have developed a software differential for optimized traction. This picture shows a machine in the power mode. This means that when we use an application which are demanding a lot of power, for example, snow plowing, we are running the machine on the diesel engine, consuming basically 100% of what the diesel engine can provide. If we run into deeper snow or we go uphill, the machine will go down. Then we can add up to 30% additional power from the battery package, so we can maintain speed and productivity. So this is one way to actually have additional power available. When we have gone up the hill, on the other side, of course, we come to a downhill, or we can brake the machine. We brake with the service brake. Every time we brake, as long as we have capacity in the battery, we will actually use an electrical brake. Of course, there is also a mechanic brake available when needed. But in this case, the EMGs out at the final drives, they will be working as generators, so they will actually be charging the battery and slow down the machine. So this shows how we can also regenerate energy. And finally, I want to show this picture when we operate the machine in EV mode, electrical only. In this situation, we take the power from the battery package, or we could also take it from an external electrical power supply if we are on a static work site or very limited movement on the machine. So here we still have full access to all hydraulic functions and the transmission at full capacity. We have no fuel consumption, we have no emissions, and we have no engine noise. So this shows some of the advantages that we can solve at the same time as we minimize the environmental impact. And I will actually wrap up my presentation by showing you another video. It's a video from a test drive with one of our test operators in one of the prototypes. Thank you.
When driving Taigon, I feel in full control. I can put the power where I need it, and it's quiet yet really powerful.
Great, thank you, Lars, for that presentation. Such an interesting innovation in the machine. There's a lot of advantages we can see. Obviously, emissions are the first obvious one that comes from a hybrid, and of course, then the issue with the traction, again, not damaging the ground.
Exactly.
is a critical issue when it comes to construction, forestry, etc. But look, the hybrid model has been in the automotive industry for over a decade, at least, if not more. So I'm really curious if you can give me some background on the development of this machine.
Yeah, actually, we started to build a first concept machine. We showed the first concept machine in 2015. That was built on components, standard components, not really designed for this industry. But since then, we have, for example, we have been developing several components together with some of our suppliers, cooperation. And for example, we have developed a new type of final drives. We have developed the EMGs with their control system. We have developed also a battery package. We have actually, over these 5 years, we have changed the chemistry in the battery. We have also designed a liquid cooling system for the EMGs and the battery. And there are many, many things. We actually have now a stage 5 engine in the machines. And we have, during this process, also rotated the engine 180 degrees for better serviceability. So during this time, we have done a lot of improvements to the product. And now we are ready for the pre-series.
Yeah. And one of the things I'm really curious about the development was, were you getting demand from the marketplace to build something like this? Were you getting requests from the marketplace?
Yes, we are getting a very big interest, actually. Yeah. We have done over all this period. But of course, there are some companies that want to be first with this type of project because they focus a lot of the environment and sustainability, as we do.
Yeah,
so
we have a question from the audience, which is, are customers willing to pay for a machine that's both diesel engine and electromotor?
Yeah, well, of course, there is also savings to be done. You have savings in fuel. Yep. You also have a higher productivity, of course, but also the end customer who is paying for this, they probably would have to pay a little bit more of course, in the beginning here.
Yeah, yeah.
But over time, also the cost of the components will go down as the volume goes up.
Yeah, and one thing that I can see is a lot of companies also have green policies that they have to be seen to being environmentally friendly. They have their corporate sustainability, corporate social responsibility, sustainability policies to be seen to doing things, and they do see that investment as a win for them, not only on the productivity level, but also on a brand level. Sure. And I think you'd agree with that companies need to be showing the public that they are environmentally aware and environmentally friendly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's also a key factor. But not only that, it all comes together. They need to see better improvement in the performance as well. So that there are many interesting things.
And it's also always the end customer, the consumer, who makes the decisions. Yeah. When they choose products, if the consumer is asking for 100% sustainable products, we'll go through the production process and we'll come back to your machines.
Yeah. Machines. I wanted to jump onto digitalisation because it's been a theme. It's going to be a theme throughout the day. It's already come up a couple of times, but we can see that the role of the forestry worker clearly involves getting closer to working with technology all the time, from the saw to the touch screen in 100 years. Amazing. So will this require a lot of upskilling in the industry from your perspective?
Upscaling in...
upskilling.
Upskilling, oh yes.
Yeah, more skills, bringing...
Both an opportunity and a challenge. Because it requires the same skills from a forest employee as before, but they also need to have a feel for digital solutions. Mm-hmm. But what we are working with is actually, the mechanical development is come so far, so it's difficult to make huge step on the mechanical solutions. Mm-hmm. So we really need to find new digital solutions, and those will be designed to help the driver, not to make it difficult for the driver. We need to help the driver be more efficient, to create a better working environment.
Yeah.
So I think it's misunderstanding that digital solutions will demand more from the people, from the employees. I think it's the other way. We need to help the employees, the drivers, to make more money for their employers.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think one of the other things that sort of came to my mind when I saw your videos and your presentations is, quite often people think about sustainability. They think that technology is the problem. When and technology and manufacturing, everything is the problem in sustainability. But we can clearly see with these solutions that technology can solve sustainability problems.
You need to look at it from the customer view. Is the customer interested in digital solutions? No. The customer is interested in getting a more efficient machine, helping the driver, helping the end customer to make good decisions. Mm-hmm. So it's about helping the customer to make better solutions and better, more efficient machines. Mm.
Yeah, it seems to me that the Swedish, Finnish manufacturers of these machines are on the leading edge of these sustainability innovations. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, in the forest industry, both sustainability and in the forest industry, northern countries are leading the way in development, and also in sustainability, I think, because it's a process to understand and get the investment, get the funds to work with the sustainability. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, and I would come back to the question you asked about digitalization. I actually think that's a good reason for us to attract young people, because that's what the young people want to work with. They want to be working in a machine that is actually advanced. Mm-hmm. They're used to playing video games, and they are skilled. Just by sitting in a machine, they can operate the machine very easy. So I think we have an opportunity to attract people, young people, to this business, this industry in the future.
Fantastic, fantastic. So last question to both of you. Quick roundup here. Is the hybrid machine viable for forest work?
Absolutely. What we will see in the near future is that we will regain energy from crane movements and so forth. The problem for the forest industry, the remote sites. Mm-hmm. So that will be a logistic challenge. We need to move energy logistically to the battery in the forest. So I think there's a logistic challenge, but it will happen.
It will happen
in some way.
I think there are some opportunities, as Anders says, but also, for example, the electrical driveline. Yeah. Just by the electrical driveline, we save 25% of energy consumption. So, just to make the product more efficient, that's a part of it.
How far away are we from a fully electric machine?
Well, obviously we have fully electric machines in the business, but I think that that will definitely be a second step for us, because at the moment it's not actually possible, because you see the applications. We are so far away from electrical power, so the outlets to have it available to charge the machine.
As soon as we can move energy in a sustainable way out to remote sites, we will have fully electrified machines.
Fantastic. Well, that would be a fantastic innovation. And thank you, gentlemen, for coming here and sharing the technological innovations that you've created to help make your industries more sustainable. Much appreciated.
Thanks for
Anders Gustafson, Lars Lindahl, thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.